What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I am Dom with the great man Sauce. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. It's as you can see, rugged up. It's a bit cold, but repping the Australia colours. We've got the World Games that are going on at the moment. Where
Mate.
if anyone's been not aware, it's the Olympics. It's started officially, Doma. We haven't mentioned it on the show, but
We haven't.
we'll give it a mention. We'll give it a mention tonight.
We will. We definitely will. Global, welcome. Welcome to the show. Good to see you stopping by. Hope you are well. The Olympics, mate, there's so much happening in terms of once the Olympics. So we had the Euros, the Copa America. Once the Olympics are done, EPL's back, NFL's back. Bro, it's crazy. Like, it just doesn't stop. And then by the time we're at it, NBA's back again. Hello, James. Good evening to you as well. Hope you're well. Team USA nearly shat the bed. Now, listen. I didn't think I was going to start the show off on this, but I saw the funniest TikTok video ever. Ever. There's a new nickname for LeBron. I don't want him called anything else but what I'm about to show you. I've got the clip. I'm going to bring it up. Hello, Magda. Welcome to the show.
Magda, Global.
Honestly, I've watched
Jimmy.
it about. I don't know how many
Howie.
times I've watched it now, Sauce. And every time we watch it, we piss ourselves. So, just a word of warning to people that are listening to this in the car. Maybe just turn your volume down a little bit. And there's a fair bit of swearing in it. So, just a word of warning. So, just giving you that before I play it. But
all shows
this
marked
guy-
explicit here, Doma. So don't worry
I
about the
know.
swearing.
But
it
just
is
in case
loud. So if you've got headphones in, just word
I'm
of
trying
warning.
to find his account name. Rage with Paige is his
There we
name.
go. Yeah,
I'm going
on
to tag
TikTok.
him. Rage with Paige. I'm telling you, this is the greatest thing ever. Now I'll make this nice and big. The Old Testament. Captain L'America is what he's called the clip. This is obviously against Canada, where they were stinking up the bed, and Legoat came along and just does what he does.
Number one option, let's go. King Booker, please, anybody. Captain America, it has to be you. Captain America! The old fucking testament! Holy shit! Carry these fucking bombs! Carry these fucking bombs! Holy shit, bro! Where would we be without a fucking 40-year-old right now, bro? Where would we be? Wide open. Are you dead ass? Oh my, yo, we can't get a rebound? The old man can do everything? What are you doing, Curry? Oh my fucking goodness, bro. Hold on. Slow that shit down. Everybody clear the fuck out, bro. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. You got me rooting for LeBron James like I'm a diehard LeBron James fan. Oh, this is barbecue chicken. Clear the fuck out. Come on, Captain America, the Old Testament. Please.
He's carrying these bums. 4-year-old carrying these bums. That was the funniest line. But look,
bro, I never laughed so hard.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
The Old Testament. I love it. I wouldn't have thought about calling him that. The Old Testament. Oh, man, it's so good. Bro, he's just... The best is when he calls them all bums. The 40-year-old is carrying these bunch of bums. They're all world-class NBA players. And he's calling them all bums. It's just so good. Oh, fuck, he's funny. That is Rage with Paige on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. I have never laughed so hard.
Yeah.
But
watched it a few times.
Their campaign is going to be interesting to watch, Sauce.
Will be.
I saw this crazy stat from like the Dream Team, like the Jordan Dream Team in 92. They played against 9 NBA players in that tournament at the 92 Olympics. And then this team here is playing against 68 or 64 current NBA players in the Olympics in this tournament. Like, it just shows the growth of basketball, where it's gone and how strong it's become. It's unbelievable. So there's no walkovers, and unfortunately for boomers who we're going to be supporting nice and hard at the Olympics. They got the group of death. So
yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It looks ominous. It looks ominous, let me tell you, Doma, for the Australian basketball team, national men's team. So, yeah, look, it's going to be an interesting campaign to see, who comes second, because we know USA is going to win it, Doma. That's a foregone conclusion, if you ask me, in the basketball. And yeah, look, in regards to the clip we just watched, I mean, LeBron's gone out. That's an exhibition game. I think it's going to be no different in the actual Olympics. He's going to go out there, do what he needs to do at the, clutch times and bring it through for his country. He wants to obviously lead the way as the vet, as the 40-year-old, lead by example. So, yeah, look, USA will win the basketball. That's no doubt about in my mind. The other interesting sports to watch, ladies and gentlemen, for me is definitely the rugby sevens. If you haven't, don't tune into the rugby sevens. I think it's on 10 p.m. tonight. You can tune in the rugby sevens. It's exciting, fast paced. How do you watch all this? It's on some streaming service or it's on the World Wide Web. Where
Channel 7, I think 7 Plus has got it all on their app for free anyway.
Okay,
whoever's got the broadcast rights has got all this stuff. That was the same thing in the last Olympics. Everything's like broken up into different tabs, and you can just click on the sport that you want to watch, and bang, away you go. It's got everything there ready to go for you.
Vinny says channel 9.
Maddie says on Instagram, Stand Streaming.
Stand Streaming, boys. There you go. See, I'm sure portion of it is free to air, which I think it might just be more like Australian covered events and certain the main events and stuff like that. That they choose, the broadcasters choose. So, or else I think if you want to watch sort of whatever event you want to watch and click and switch around and stuff, I think Stan is the streaming service. I think here in Australia, but as we know, Doma, there's always where there's a will, there's a way. Out there, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure. I think there is also a bunch of
the Olympics. It says here Olympic schedule with links to stream all events and free on 9 Now. Replays and highlights available for most events soon after they finish. It doesn't specify. It doesn't specify Australian only. It says here handball. There's it live. Here we go. Women's handball. Netherlands versus Angola. You can watch it, mate, if you signed in. Yeah, so I think you can watch everything, mate. Yeah, you just got to sign into your 9 Now account, which is free. And, yeah, there's a women's handball game on right now.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. Global says LeBum was the Hock Tour on that thing. James says you can buy the Hock Tour autos from Leaf.
Is that actually a thing, James? Is he
I think it's I don't think he's pulling the leg. Hello, Vinny, as well. Hello, Positive. Who else have I missed? That's everyone. Welcome. Mus on IG, welcome. Man, yeah. So it's all happening. 9 Now for the Olympics. What else is there to watch, mate? What else? You've got your list. The 100-meter sprint, you said.
Yeah, 100-meter sprint. 100-meter sprint is definitely one to keep an eye out. Things. What else we would say? I mean, sports that I'm probably not too interested in. I mean, swimming to me is not that of an interesting sport to watch. I actually think the hockey. The hockey.
Yeah, field hockey.
Field hockey. That's pretty awesome to watch. What else out there? Any suggestions in the chat? What you like to watch for the Olympics, or if there's any sports that maybe you find yourself that you don't really follow, but come Olympics time, or of something of that nature, you're tuning in and watching.
Global.
There you go. Women's beach volleyball global records. That's what he's tuning in to watch. I'm with you there, Global. I'm with you,
James, what's the Hock Tour girl's name? I'm on their site. I'm trying to find it so I can bring
We're
it
trying
up.
to find it on the Leaf site. I was trying to find it too to see if he was talking porkies or not. What else? Track and field. There's not really too many things that really tickle the fancy. I mean, the long jumps are a little bit interesting. The high jumps a little bit interesting. If you ask me, those two. Then the 100-meter sprint. All the other extra running, maybe the 200 meters is interesting, but other than that, it's all much of the same. There you go, Haley.
It
Haley
actually
Welch. Jimmy
is.
New.
It
Jimmy
is a
New.
card.
Yeah, show us.
No.
Bring it up.
100 USD. I love Pookie, Haley, and then there's there you go. Sold out. No surprise, they're sold out.
That's nuts. This world's
Wrestling
nuts.
says globally likes watching wrestling. The weightlifting's good to watch, Source. The weightlifting, mate. When the big units get up there to do the powerlifting.
The powerlifting.
Oh, there's 3-on-3 basketball at this Olympics too. Jimmy Fredette, Source. He's playing. He's representing America, mate. Jimmy Fredette. He's like one of the best 3-on-3 basketball players in the world.
Really?
He plays in the big three basketball, I think. I'm pretty sure. Jimmy Fredette.
3 and 3.
So he's in there. Massimo says on IG, breakdancing. That's not a sport in the Olympics, is it?
Come on. Don't be.
No.
Surely not.
No. The breaking competition at Paris 2024 Olympic Games comprises 2 events, one for men and one for women, where 16 B-boys and 16 B-girls. No.
No, it can't be.
Yeah. No.
Is that actually in there? How is that in there and futsal, five-a-side futsal is not in there?
It's here. Find all your answers here about it is debut breakdancing. Yep. The pre-qualifier, 10th of August. No, that can't be right. Bronze medal battle. Saturday, 10th of August is the gold medal battle. Yeah. 5:24 a.m.
You got to be kidding me.
Gymnastics looking strong, says Muss. The Aussie team, that is, hopefully. Swimming is electric, says Global. Yeah, I like the swimming. I don't even know who you're talking. How do you even know who these people are, James? Or are you just talking about breakdancers from back in the day? Or Phil Wizard and Logistics. That's a great name, Logistics, with an X. That's great. Phil Wizard. Oh man. Sports in the 2024 Olympic Games, because I'm telling you, there's nothing off limits now if you got breakdancing. Isn't skateboarding's in it again? Yeah.
Skateboarding's in there.
Sport climbing. I don't know what that is. Sport climbing. Artistic swimming. Yeah, we know what that is. It's like synchronized swimming. 3-on-3 trampolining. Show jumping, yeah, dressage, yeah, they're all still the same things. Rugby sevens, handball. Handball's good to watch, mate. Water polo, Source.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Water polo is pretty good.
Sailing, surfing, athletics, breaking. Yes, that is in it, Source. Yep. Mountain biking, freestyle BMX, this skateboarding, sport climbing. What is this? Free climbing, rock climbing. That's in the Olympics. Fast rock climbing, yes. That's in the Olympics as well. I still don't know how futsal is not a sport in the Olympics. It actually baffles me. This is ridiculous.
Isn't the classification like it has to be both played for men and women? That's the classification.
Well, they've got that in futsal. Vinny says next Olympics will have card cleaning with Kurt going for gold. That's great. That's very, very good. Well done, Vinny. Very nice. Oh, so I don't even know how it works. So Vinny says up here that breakdancing was one of the sports France chose to be in this year's Olympics. So is there a wait list of Olympic sports? That's what I want to know. Ticketing program. No, that's not it. What
You have
sports
to.
will not be? What are the 5 new sports? Breakdancing, kayak cross, kiteboarding, men's artistic swimming. Yeah, whatever. There's been given renewed hope to many sports that have been on the waiting list for many years, such as rugby, golf, roller sports. What? Dropping sports, new sports. Bowling is one of the sports on the wait list. Squash.
Yeah, that should be on there.
Squash, not
Bowling.
bad.
I'm with you.
Baseball. It'll be boring as batshit. Anyway, they wanted esports. MMA should be on it, says Global. That'd just be jiu-jitsu, wouldn't it? You can't have like UFC Olympic style.
You can't. It's just
The host country gets to pick X sports to be in it.
Okay.
Well, the United States have got the next one, so I don't know what they're going to put in it.
Was there My Sports meme on Instagram? What about dodgeball? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Dodgeball. There you go. Well, anyway, the Olympics are on till middle of August. So it's like 3 weeks, 4 weeks it goes for. So we'll definitely cover some stuff here on double coverage. We'll have the medal tally going. Pickleball, Global says. Pickleball's as big a pump and dump as bloody AFL added in 2032 for Brisbane, says Matt. Australia just wants to guarantee gold medals. You could actually do it, you know that. Man, you just pick the Australian squad from the best AFL players, and then all the rest of the AFL players, because they're not going to make it for Australia, they just defer to another country and play for their heritage. That's what you do, mate.
Yep.
Why would you do that? Yeah, well, it gets players to, like professional players, to go in there and play with spuds. But just imagine that Australian team. It'd be AFL 9s would have to be the game. That's what they'd end up playing. And Australia would win every game by 200 points.
It would have to be AFL 9s.
Yeah, they have to. That's what they usually do in Olympics. It's always like a format that's a bit different. Oh, lacrosse is coming in at the next Olympics, I was told, actually. So lacrosse at the Olympics in LA. There you go. And last one, Musk says Snoop Dogg. He's going to be bringing in carrying the torch when it visits America. So that's pretty good. Or whatever the hell it is. Bring it into, I don't know what he's doing.
He's going to light up a joint with it?
Yeah. Well, it'd be stupid not to, if you ask me. Anyway, that's it for the Olympics. I don't even know if we really want to touch on it. The soccer doesn't really count in the Olympics, but Argentina had a goal disallowed via VAR 2 hours after their game ended today or last night, which was hilarious.
What?
Yeah.
I seen there was controversy, but what?
Yeah, they had
overruled it.
15 minutes of added time, first of all. Then fans stormed the pitch from Morocco because they were pissed off that there was that many that many minutes. Anyway, they stopped the game. They reckon there was 3 more minutes of play were needed. They pretty much abandoned the game. And then 2 hours after the game ended, they sat down and reviewed it. And they said that the goal was in offside position. They took away the goal from Argentina. So they lost 2-1.
What?
Yeah. I can't believe something's gone against Argentina.
Mate, you want to know something? Only went against him because Messi was not playing and he was on a boat. on
He's in
holiday.
Cancun at the moment, mate. He's not even
If he
played
was-
for Inter Miami.
If he was playing, they wouldn't have overturned it.
Anyway, My Sports Mem says USA are picking flag football. Imagine Patrick Mahomes in that.
Be
They put,
impossible
like-
to stop.
Yeah, they should just I don't even know. It's like amateurs though, because that's the way they do it. So it'd have to be under 23s in flag football, and you're allowed to bring one professional.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it works in the Olympics. It's under 23s, and you can bring I think 2 over 23. So,
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Nicholas Otamendi's playing for Argentina. He's one of the mature ages. I'm not sure who the other one was. So there is criteria behind it. So all right, and don't forget the tennis as well. Source the tennis at the Olympics. Can't forget that, mate, as well. All right, let's get into the regular programming for sports. Lamine Yamal got a few Olympics left, says James. I don't even know if France qualified, to be honest.
Who? For what?
For the Olympics.
France. No, France qualified. Spain qualified.
Well, he's not playing.
Spain, he's not playing. Lamine.
No.
He's not. He already said he's not. He's not doing a Pedri. Doing the World Cup. Then
Exactly.
that overdo
Preserve
it.
his body, mate. Preserve. Don't want to break down. All right, let's get to the round 19 results. Mate, I'll tell you what. Is there some interesting results from last week? And it all starts on a beautiful Friday night, Source, down at Marvel, where the Dons get done by 2 points, 115 to 113. Your club is a shambles at the moment. Any feedback for the Essendon Football Club? Do you think you're actually going to make finals?
I'm starting to. I was trying to stay positive, Dom. I was trying to stay positive. Like, you got to understand, it's been
long time.
23 years of shit. Yeah, we haven't won a final in 23 years or whatever. I was trying to stay positive. I really was, but my positivity levels are at an all-time low for the year. After that great start, and we felt like we had a bit of a wobbles, we got back on track to now I've lost 5 of our last 7. Some of the manner we've lost some of those games has been very, very disappointing. Against teams that we feel like we should beat. Although there's no, given games, it's the AFL. It's, any team can beat any team on their day. It's, the best league there is of this sport, right? But if you want to be considered as a team that's maybe going to have the chance to do something special this year, or have the chance to win a final even, they're the type of games that you need to be going out there and getting the win, walking away with the 4 points. And we haven't been able to do that. So it's disappointing. I'm losing hope. Had the opportunity to speak to the Essendon captain on Sunday morning at the Melbourne Card Fair. He was there at the Melbourne Card Fair, and I was nearly contemplating going up to him and saying, "Mate, I've been paying my membership for 24 years. You got to tell the boys, get in there, do something about it. Yeah, like, you're going to start losing members if we can't actually win a final. I haven't won a final in over 23 years. It's becoming a joke, and it's now literally the running joke of the AFL. And let's be honest, it's got to stop at some point. And we thought it was going to be the year. We thought, it was going to click. I'm not saying we're going to win the premiership. I actually don't think we have a chance. I think we're nowhere near the best teams that are that are in the comp, but. Did I think we could win a final? Yeah, I really did. But it's starting to dwindle. So we'll see how we respond this week against the St Kilda side that's got their backs up. They beat Sydney a couple of weeks ago. They won 3 on the trot, or 2 of their last 3. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, disappointing, Doma. It's becoming a typical Essendon season, showing promise and signs, and then when push comes to shove, literally crawling up to a ball into fetal position and submitting and surrendering like little bitches, pretty much.
Well said.
That's been the Essendon seasons for I can't tell you how long. And
Yeah.
I really want to have the hope, and I'm just glad we don't have many listeners, but I don't care if they did hear this, so they should, because it gets to a point where you're just like, when's enough is enough, you know what I mean? Got to stand up at some point. I thought this was going to be the season, but maybe not. I don't know.
We'll see. Time will tell. There's still time left, but yeah, it's not looking great at the moment. The Saturday games, Giants beat Suns by 39. Saints beat the Eagles by 72. The Hawks slapped the Pies by 66. Man, did they look good. The conditions were shithouse too in this game, and they ended up piling on 133 points, the Hawks. So they were literally witches' hats.
Yeah.
What did you talk to Zach Merritt about in the end, says Matt?
I didn't talk to him, mate. I couldn't face him, mate. I didn't even want to get a card signed, and I could have got one signed. Could have just gone to a table. You got a Zach Merritt card? Yeah, bought it for $10.
Could have gone to your mate there who pulled his Zach Merritt cards out yesterday and brought him to the show. Old mate.
We'll talk about that a bit later, but yeah, look, I didn't talk to him in the end, and I did, but also it was good to see, and not for anything, props to Zachy Merritt. He was there, and anyone who went up to him and interacted with him, he was quite enough to talk back to them, and just signing cards for kids and signing cards for adults as well. So doing his part as the captain of the footy club to obviously just be relatable and be a good captain and people person to supporters that come up to him at the card show, that we're pretty excited to see him there. And I know there's a few couple of the collectors there that set up. They're big Essendon fans as well, so they were pretty pumped to see him there. So yeah, it was good. It was good. Never know. He might be down to more card fairs in the future.
That'd be good. Yeah. That'd be really good to have him along. It's good to see he's into the space, so that'd be great. The next game, we had the Dogs at GMHBA smashing the Cats by 47 in what was one of the most surprising wins over the weekend. Man, the Dogs are so unpredictable, but you know what? They're starting to find form when it counts, which is a bit of a worry for a lot of teams come September if they're there in the pickings in the final series. They play dangerous. They play the Swans this week in Sydney, so that'll be an interesting game to see how they are.
And if they get, they're the type of team in that if they get on the right run, they have the players there to make a special run. They have the players there. Like you look at that midfield, you look at that forward line. They got so much. They've Lobb has gone down back in the last few weeks and has been a revelation. He's been playing a key position down back. Beveridge has thrown him down there, maybe revitalized his career. He's pulled there's been a few players in the past that had started forward, gone back, or they've gone back, gone forward, gone back, and sort of they flip and flop them around, and and then they end up sticking somewhere, and then they play the best 4 or 5 years of their career, of their whole career of footy. So maybe that's happening to Rory Lobb. We don't know. We'll see as it plays out. But he's doing well at the moment, and the Dogs are doing well. And Jamara looks like he's starting to feel into the shoes that we know the potential that he has. A few Doggy supporters, when I went to the North Doggies game the other week, Dom, as you know, it was, I sat next to some young Doggies fans, and they're not too impressed with Jamara. They think he's, maybe a bit overrated, a bit overhyped. And I said, nah. Look, he's good. He's good. Just he needs a bit more time. Like, don't worry. He's going to be. He's already a gun, but he's going to be a star. Like you just got to give him a bit of time. He's got the brilliance. He's got the flair. He's showing that he kicked 4 goals there at GMHBA, and led the Dogs over the line in a way in the forward half. So yeah, it was The doggies look scary. And with what they've done
Yeah.
last time they did it, they came from 8th, Doma, and they could
won
be
the
a lot
flag.
better off, where they're sitting at the moment, which is 9th. They could end up maybe up to 6th, as high as 6th, maybe
Potentially.
more. Maybe more.
Potentially. We'll get to the letter in a sec. Port Adelaide defeated Richmond by 41. The Sunday games, Brisbane beat Sydney by 2 points. They are now sitting in second position. The Lions, the Vegas trip, we wrote them off Sauce, but you know what? It's back. The Brisbane versus Carlton grand final prediction is still on the cards, baby. It's on the cards. It's not out of the realms of possibilities. So the Vegas trip, we thought they were cooked, but it's the opposite. It looks like Collingwood is well and truly cooked, not the Lions. So, yeah, Lions up into second. Dockers beat Melbourne by 50. No surprise there. I don't think Melbourne will play finals. They're horrific. They're no good at all. And then the Blues defeated my Kangaroos by 19 points. A good outing by North. To put it into perspective, it was disappointing. I would have loved to beat the Blues. You know, they bounced back after a few horrid weekends. But, you know, I look at Good Friday when we played the Blues the first time. What was that, round 4, I think it was? Or round 3? Round 3, we lost by 56 points in that game at Marvel. And we've come back in round 19 and we've lost by 19 points. And, it probably should have been a goal or two less, to be honest. And we had the opportunity to win this game. So to bounce back in, round 3 in 16 weeks, it's been a pretty good turnaround for the Kangas. The biggest loss they've had in the second half of this season has been to Sydney by 46 or whatever it was. They slapped us. But
Definitely been a better second half of the season for
they've been way better. So I'm just happy.
Yeah.
And Clarko tried a few different things. Griff was back in the team, Griff and Logue. So, he threw Combin up forward. And, he was just clunking the marks up there and becoming another option to help out the big Suvlaki. So they did pretty well. Paul Curtis is turning out to be an absolute jet. Sheezel was just a freak. Genuine freak. He kicked 2 goals out of stoppage plays that were just unbelievable. Just like outside of the foot banana in a stoppage sauce. And he just nailed it. And another one, he just steamed through and beat 2 guys and just slotted one. He's looking really, really good. And there's positive signs there for North. But, I'm just proud of what we've put together in this second half of the season. It's a good way to catapult into 2025. And hopefully, we become a bit like the Hawks next year, which I thought, would be that team this year. We weren't. But I got to give Clarko cut him some slack. First time he's actually been able to coach this team since he's come across to the Kangas. And now we're starting to really see the payoff. We just need to get LD Sue to sign at the end of the season. That's practically what we need to do. We need to lock him in, make sure he's there for the next stage of this football club, and we just go from there. So very proud of my North.
More draft picks coming
boys.
too. So
more draft picks. Yeah, 100%. Let's get to this week's games and get the tips. Carlton versus Port Adelaide at Marvel.
Carlton.
I'm going Port. North Melbourne versus the Cats. Blundstone Arena. Hobart. Magda in the chat said Kangas to beat the Cats. Here it is.
Could potentially happen. I feel like I'm going to go with the Cats, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going with you, Magda.
You do play well down there. So
I'll back our boys in. Suns v Lions.
Suns home?
Yep.
Suns.
I'm also going Suns. They're hard to beat at home. Saints versus Bombers at Marvel.
Essendon.
Wow. I'm going Essendon as well. Surely you can't lose this game. Melbourne versus Giants at the G. Giants favourites.
Yeah, Giants. Game. I'd go Giants too.
Gamble responsibly. I'm going Giants. Dockers, West Coast. That's pretty straightforward. Collingwood, Richmond at the G.
Collingwood.
I'm going Collingwood.
Falling off a
Sydney
cliff.
versus Dogs at SCG.
Sydney.
Yeah,
Just
I'm going
'cause
Sydney as well. That's a tough tip, just based off the Dogs. And the last game, Crows versus Hawks, Adelaide Oval. Wow.
yeah, this is a big game. I mean, not really for Adelaide so much. I mean, for Hawthorn, but Adelaide will want to go out there and get back-to-back wins. They're at home. Yeah, this is a tough tip. I'm going to back the home team. Go with Adelaide.
I'm going to back Hawthorn. I've backed them a lot this season. They've paid off for me. They've been really good. So, yeah. And yeah, I still don't understand how the Pies like Jack Ginnivan get 31 possessions in that game on the weekend. But anyway, they did. And he made them pay. Here is the ladder.
I'll see some funny memes about the trades. Them bringing in Schultz and saying one they had a picture of Schultz and said the wish version of Jack Ginnivan.
Jeepers creepers.
Some people really stir in the pot. Hello to Cage on IG. Good to see you in here, Cage.
Hawthorn always, says Cage. What sport is this? This is AFL. This is coming into the Olympics in 2032, according to Double Coverage and the listeners of this podcast. We got to try and win gold medals. So put it in there. Chuck it in. The Aussies. See how the US go, mate. You always are the front runners in the Olympics. Here's the ladder. Sydney on top. Carlton in second. Brisbane third. Fourth is Fremantle. GWS is fifth. But, up to third source, it's pretty close, obviously. And then outside of the 8, we have Dogs, D's, Hawks, Gold Coast as well. They're a game and a half out. So it's not too far. And there's plenty of rounds left. We still got 5 rounds left of footy to play.
A lot can happen,
mate. North still has to play Richmond, mate.
If Essendon lose this week, we're out of the 8.
Source. North play Richmond for the number 1 pick.
What are you going to do this time, Dom? Are you going to make
we got to beat them. We just got to beat them. So, if not, we get the number 1 pick. I'm not going to complain.
Fair point.
Do the ladder predictor. Says Global. You want to do it? Let's do it.
You have to look at the schedules, mate.
I think it gives it all to you every round. Blues. I'm going to go based off sources tips for this week. Cats. Bombers. Suns. Giants. Dockers. Pies. Swans. Adelaide. So here's the ladder at the end of this round.
Oh, wow.
You've tipped the Bombers, mate. But if the Bombers lose, Source, you're still in the 8. By 2 points.
Yeah, but Sydney has to win if the Bulldogs win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if Hawthorn wins, mate. If Hawthorn wins, you're out of the 8. I haven't tipped Hawthorn now. So, interesting. Very, very interesting. We'll see what happens, Source. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. 2032 Olympics. Luke Jackson and Caleb Sarong will be in their primes, says Cage. That is great. I don't know where you went to go get this information on Luke Jackson and Caleb Sarong, but that is very good by you, coming from someone over in the States. Yes, they will be in their prime. Yes, they will. Yep. 100% they will. That is...
he probably just threw that into ChatGPT and just that's what it spat out.
Yeah, or he clicked on Fremantle. He went to a top team here, Fremantle, and he just typed in best young Fremantle players. It's come up with those 2 Jets. Beautiful. All right, let's move on to a bit of F1 Source, because we had the Hungarian Grand Prix, And back up the top here, Global says off the grid has to come back. Here it is. Bring it back. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin Hawthorne. Here he is from Florida. Yeah, you go for the Hawks. If you're listening to
You go
this,
for the Hawks.
yeah, if you're an American, you haven't got an AFL team, Kevin Hawthorne, you go for Hawthorne. That's it. Done. It's not that hard. Bang. That was an easy one. Cage, I don't know who you go for. Lawyer, who always has lawyer problems, probably Essendon. Drug scandal. Needed a lot of lawyers. So there you go. There you go. You're a Bombers fan with Saucy and Kevin. You go for the Hawks. Done. Hungarian Grand Prix, and it was dogs. Cage said he goes to the dogs. Or we dogs. Who knows? Probably both. Oscar Piastri gets his maiden win in F1. It was fantastic to watch. Not with a bit of controversy involved, of course.
A lot of controversy.
But another fantastic F1 race that had Piastri, Norris, and Hamilton on the podium. Leclerc in fourth, Verstappen in fifth, Sainz sixth, Perez seventh, George Russell eighth. That is the big eight. And then we had Daniel Ricciardo in 12th. There was a bit of an issue there with Danny Rick and Yuki Tsunoda. They gave him, he was making up 7.5 seconds on Tsunoda. He made up 7.5 seconds and they pitted him like it was a stupid pit. And they added 21 seconds and Tsunoda ends up finishing 9th and Danny Rick in 12th. Bit of, I think, politics there and a bit of politics for the McLarens, you know. They made it, I think, in my opinion, they made a judgment error on Oscar Piastri. And then they told Lando Norris to give the position back, which Lando Norris did end up giving him the position back. But Norris was trying to say, if you want me to give the position back, you need him to catch me. And he didn't actually have the pace, Piastri, to catch Lando Norris. He was too quick for him. And he made a statement by deliberately extending his lead on him. He got it up to like 4.5 seconds. And they kept saying, come on, Lando. They played the whole the personal card, the emotional card, the old, you know, you're better than this. You know, this is what leaders do card type thing. And he eventually gives up the position to Piastri. Piastri wins.
Not happy about it.
But Lando, I know a lot of people have been giving Lando shtick for it and bagging him, but I understand where he's coming from. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy Piastri won, and I'm very, very glad that he does win it. But, you know, Lando Norris is looking at it like, this guy can't catch me. I have to give up a place to him, and I'm the one that's catching Max Verstappen in the World Championship. And he's gone, instead of me catching him by 8 points in the world standings, I can add another 7 points and make up 15 points on Max Verstappen. Like, you'd hate to be Lando Norris come the final race of the season and lose by anywhere in between 1 and 6 points. Source. You'd hate that to be the case because it will all come down to this race. We'll be thinking about the Hungarian Grand Prix 2024 if he loses by anywhere between 1 and 6 points at the end of the season. And the way that the McLarens are going at the moment, they can catch him.
They can catch him. They are showing that they clearly have the best pace out of any car. They've obviously fine-tuned and you know, got things right in that garage, and it's flying. It's flying. I mean, they're right at the top in every race recently, both cars. And Lando is obviously showing that he's good enough to win it. He might have had another win under his belt if Max didn't, you know, wipe him off the track the other week. So
yes, that's what Jason says that on Instagram. He said, sorry, Global says that Max took out Lando a couple of races ago. Correct. It's a bit of controversy there. On IG, Cage says that they created their own controversy, blame the McLaren team for that. The end result was the right one though, with Piastri winning. Jason says can't have a British driver without them whinging. Max had himself to blame also. Shouldn't have dive bombed. 100%. And I don't know if you saw, Global says the old Max is back. I'm not sure if you saw that Red Bull are going to be looking into his late nights. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have, because he obviously likes staying up and playing the racing simulator.
We spoke about this a few races ago, if you remember on the show, and I said, oh, he raced in a 24-hour sim race, and then he fronted up and he drove. I don't remember we had that discussion on this podcast. Well, he's done it again, Source. Like he was up the night of the race to the early hours of the morning. Like, so they want to impose a ban on him as a driver to not be involved in any of these sim races on race day. But I tell you what,
you wouldn't you wouldn't want to go sleep deprived when you're traveling at 300 plus kilometers an hour. No, Dom.
That shows how good he is, though. He is that good. I don't care what anyone says. He is that good. Like, he's a freak. He's so good, Max Verstappen. It's like unbelievable how good he is. But they made some. They caused some problems with him. But then Max, he's just the whole thing is that I'll never understand with Max Verstappen. And I know it's heat of the moment in a race, but when you've got so many laps left, what he did with Hamilton was just so unnecessary for them to collide with each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't needed. I understand his mentality. His mentality is, I need to pass him as soon as possible so I can try and catch the top two. But the other side of it, all right, is you create an accident, which is what he did, and you finish fifth instead of third. You lose an extra 5 points in the championship, which is 5 points you could have added on your tally. And instead of 8 points being made up by Lando Norris, he makes up 3 points.
Yeah.
And also, if you pass Hamilton and you have X amount of time left, you might be able to push to try and catch Lando. Maybe even finish second. Or it forces them, at that stage, Piastri was second. It forces McLaren to make a choice. Does Piastri get given the position back? Or do they have to just persist with Lando with running the risk of, if I give the position back, then Max Verstappen can potentially overtake both of our cars if he catches up to him.
Yeah.
There's so many other things, and I understand that, and that's not for anything. That's how they should be phrasing it to him. I don't know how they're talking to him in the cockpit, but he was grumpy. He was a grumpy old Max, and that could be obviously because, like you said, Sauce, he had no freaking sleep.
Have a Red Bull, gives you wings, mate. So.
Jason says Max to Mercedes, he reckons. Global says, where does Checo end up and where does Carlos end up? Rumors are Checo loses his seat for the rest of the season after next race leading into the summer break. Rumors are Danny Rick's going to get that seat back at Red Bull. Carlos Sainz, I have no idea where he's going to go. Surely Mercedes have to whip him up. Surely. At least for a year. Well, I don't know if you saw, Source, Esteban Ocon is leaving Alpine and he's going to Haas next season. Yeah. You heard that correctly.
So he can go from 14th to 12th. Is that why?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what it's like. Anyway, we have the Belgian Grand Prix this weekend. So that's Spa. That's on 28th of July. That's an 11 p.m. race. And I think we might have to bring off the grid back. We'll see.
We'll have to bring it back.
We'll have to bring it back.
The cruise.
Braxton, the snake fiend, mate. The snake fiend's in here, Sauce.
Here we go.
I know what snakes he's into, but anyway, good luck, Braxton. All the best. Whatever floats your boat, son. Jason says, so why didn't Red Bull have any issues before Adrian Newey said he's going to Ferrari? Max was winning. Checo finished top 2 or 3. Now it's constant red flags every week. Yeah, it's a shambles there. They've had a lot of problems. They had the Christian Horner thing with the text messages. They had Adrian Newey leaving. They've had all sorts of crap happening. Their first half of the season was flying, and then the start of their season was flying, and then they've just struggled massively. What's good? Louisiana, USA is in the building. What's happening, Braxton? Let's go. We've got everyone dropping in, mate. Got someone from Florida, someone from Louisiana. How good's
New
this? We've got
York.
Cage from New York. Jeez, it's all happening tonight. We've got Sydney up in here as well.
Worldwide viewership here at Double Coverage.
So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen with the F1, to be honest. It's just all up in the air in
Cracking
terms of who
season.
can win it. But it's been good.
What's the leaderboard like, the championship leaderboard, Doma?
Oh, I got to get that up. Driver standing.
Yeah.
Here it is. Horner and Max's dad had beef, said Global. Yep, that's correct. All right, here we go. Here we go, mate. He's still in front by a fair bit. Still in front by a bit. Here's the driver standing.
Bring it up.
Max attack on top, mate. Here he is.
So what's he on?
265. Lando 189. Well, he's done a lot to catch up. He was nowhere in it, Source. No, he was nowhere in it. You can easily win it from there.
Hey, Max gets one do not finish, DNF, and Lando finishes first. He's right back in it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And the way Max has been driving like a bit of a Le Mans the last few. Funny enough, I was, speaking to a cousin of mine, and he loves watching the F1. He loves Max Verstappen, loves him, right? And I had a discussion with him. I'm like, oh, Max is nuts. What he did to Lando Norris the other week. Why he didn't leave enough room? He's like, what do you mean? That was Lando's fault. I'm like, hang on, how is that Lando's fault? And then we were going back and forth, and I'm just like, hang on, you're just one-eyed Max. So like you've got one-eyed football supporters. He's a one-eyed Max Verstappen supporter that he just does nothing wrong. I'm like, I'm not having this argument with you because you can't see anything wrong with what he did, and it was just clear as obvious as day. If you ask me, Doma, he's just been driving nuts, a little bit too nuts. If you have a look at his points lead, some of these races where he might not get the win, he should just be trying to mitigate the amount of points he's going to lose.
Correct.
Obviously, to Lando.
Be tactical. Anyway, I thought he'd be up there winning all the races this year. So did you. So did everyone. But, it's done a full 180 this season, and I'm loving it. The fact that
good to see.
Look at this. Like, you got a McLaren, 2 McLarens, and 2 Ferraris in the top 5. And funnily enough, like Charles Leclerc's on 162 points. His last 4 Grand Prix have been horrific.
Yeah, terrible.
Before this weekend that passed. So, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, a couple DNFs for Max, and there you go. Braxton says he loves snakes. Couple of inspiration for his screen name. One reason, because I'm a villain fanboy. Okay, fair enough. Whatever floats your boat, mate. You're from Louisiana. You probably got some pythons or something. I don't know. No comment. Saucy's just like...
They got good fried chicken down there, I've heard.
Here's our pythons right here. That's what we call pythons in Australia. The gun show. I got nothing, mate. I got nothing. All right, let's move on to UFC, where the real pythons, mate.
Real action.
UFC. It's a big card this weekend.
Yeah, there is a big card, but we'll go over the fight night. Lemos versus Ian Doriba. I lost my. Let me see if I can find the other website I was using. For some reason, I've got this one today, but I usually like to bring it up. But anyway, it's all right. I'll still bring it up regardless. Always clearly prepared. We have UFC Fight Night, Lemos versus Ian Doriba passed. Verna and Ian Doriba gets a submission in the second round over Amanda Lemos in the women's strawweight division. Then you have featherweight Steven Garcia defeating Choi Sung Woo with a KO in the first round. Lightweight Kurt Hallerbauer defeating Kayan Krusjuski with a third round decision. And then in the flyweight division, you have Bruno Silva with a KO against Cody Durden. I won't keep going on, but there's a few more fights. But it's all about the card this weekend, Doma, and that's UFC 304, headlined by Leon Rocky Edwards against Bilal Muhammad. It's going to be an absolute pearler. I think both these fighters are 12 wins in a row. I think something like that, of that nature. So
Wow.
I think they've they're both on a massive win streak at the moment. They both have the same record. Oh no, Leon Edwards, close to the same record. Leon Edwards is 22-3. Bilal Muhammad is 23-3. And then it's going to be an absolute cracking fight. I'll give my predictions in a sec. You've got that's the main event. The co-main event is a heavyweight fight against Tom Aspinall against Curtis Blades. Then you got lightweight Bobby Green against Paddy the Baddie Bimlet. So that's a cracker too. Middleweight, you got Christian Leroy Duncan against Gregory Rodriguez. And then the featherweight, you got Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze. I'm guessing there's also the preliminary card, which let's have a look at that. You got Nathaniel Wood against Daniel Pineda in the featherweight division. You got Molly McCann against Bruna Brasil in the women's strawweight. It just keeps going on. It's actually a cracking card. You got the early prelims, which kick off from 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then the preliminary card kicks off from 10 a.m. And then the main event card kicks off from 12 p.m. So tune in this week and UFC 304, Leon Edwards against Bilal Muhammad. I'm going with Leon Rocky Edwards. I think he gets the job done over Bilal Muhammad. I just believe he's just the more complete fighter. So I'm going to go with Leon, the champ. Even though I like Bilal, I think he's underrated, but I just feel like Leon's a little bit more all-rounded. So I'll look. And we know Leon's got that knockout power as well. So I'm just going to go with Leon Edwards. I think it's going to be a close fight, but I feel like he will get he edges out for me. So going with Leon Edwards. Even though I'd love to see Bilal Muhammad win the title, just because I've talked about him for so long on this show, just saying like no one gives him any respect, even though he just keeps winning and winning and winning. And he's at the point now where he's won that much that they've had to give him a title shot. Thomas. So he's earned it. If anyone's earned it, he has earned it. That's for sure. And then you got Tom Aspinall against Curtis Blades. I'm going to go with Tom Aspinall in that one, the heavyweight bout. You got Bobby Green against Paddy Bimlet. I don't know. This is an interesting fight because I feel like this is probably Paddy Bimlet's toughest fight to date because he's going up. It's one of those situations where you're going up against a guy. Yeah, he's got 15 losses on his record, Doma, but he's had 48 fights, 49 fights, so nearly 50 fights. When you're going up against a guy that's had nearly that many fights, it's you never know what you're going to get from them, and they're really well rounded. He's just probably the most experienced guy he's come up against, and Bobby Green, has the ability to pack a punch and maybe get a knockout on Paddy Bimlet. So we'll see. But I'm going to go with Paddy the Baddie. I've been on his back and coattails for a while. I think I'm just going to go with him. Even though I think this is a toss of the coin fight. And if the bookmakers have Paddy the Baddie, as a clear, short price favorite, I'll tell you what, I'd nearly play the other side just because I don't think it, that would be the case if you ask me. And then you got Christian Leroy Duncan against Gregory Rodriguez. I'm going to go with Leroy Duncan. And then featherweight, you got Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze. I'm going to go with Arnold Allen in this one. Make sure you tune in this week, UFC 304.
Beautiful, Saucy. Very, very nice. All right. Let's get into hobby talk, mate, because on the Olympics theme, I'm just going to bring this straight off the bat. And I'm only bringing this up for one reason and one reason only, all right? I know Cage says, when are they going to make Paddy fight someone who can actually beat him? That's what Cage said.
Let's hope it's Bobby Green, mate, because I think Bobby Green can beat him.
Cage says, great rundown. Moto PC, Adam. Oh, I think our live video's cooked on Instagram. 1 hour for most users. Oh well, shit happens. Jump onto YouTube. Anyone that was on Instagram. Moto PC said, "Are we going to watch the Olympics?" Yes, we are. Here's the Olympics. Funnily enough, Topps Chrome Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls checklist. Now, the reason why I've brought this up is for one reason only. All right, there's literally one reason, and it's the autos you can get in this product, and it's because of this guy right over, not Caleb Dressel. This guy right here. You can get Michael Phelps autos in this product, so that's why I'm previewing it on the show. All right, I don't want Ledecky auto. You can get Katie Ledecky autos if you want Katie Ledecky, but she's not better than any of the Australian female swimmers, mate, in our team because she couldn't beat him in the last Olympics. So don't worry about her. She's a nobody. Aussie all the way. But Michael Phelps, the greatest swimmer of all time, by far, not even close. All right, not even close. He's the GOAT. And you can get his autos in this product. No one even comes close to shining his shoes, mate. That's how good he is, Michael Phelps. So that's why I brought that one up, Saucy. If anyone's interested, you can check out that product. The other thing from me, just quickly, is this one here, the Hobby Hangout. Save the dates. So we've got a second Melbourne show, Saucy, coming on the 17th of November. Sydney on the 1st of December. And then Adelaide and Brisbane are back on the card, Sauce. Yes, ladies and gents, you heard that
Adelaide
right.
and Brisbane. Stay
They're
tuned
back
for more.
So we'll definitely have to wait and see what happens. Are they going to come back with a reinvented show? We know that the Brisbane ones really didn't hit. That was the feedback that was always given. So let's just see what happens there. Is it going to be a fresh, new hobby hangout for Adelaide and Brisbane? So very interesting stuff.
But yeah, obviously exciting times, Doma.
Very exciting times.
For the hobby here. And Maddie says, greatest Olympian of all time, talking about Phelps.
Phelps, yeah, 100%. He's pretty damn good, I tell you. So anyway, you can get those autos in that product. Where else are we going here? We are going to some CT scanner source. You happy about that? Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, the CT scanners in the hobby.
What have we seen? We've seen polishing and spitting on cards. We've seen wax, honey, molasses, whatever the hell used to shine up cards, whatever the hell everyone else uses. And now, we've got CT scanners in the hobby. Doing what, Dom? Doing what exactly? What's the purpose of the CT scanners?
To see what the hits are in the boxes or in the packs. Like they're able to see the shape of the cards in like flawless. So for the hits, for like logo man, so you can see the logo man, and then it's been used also in Pokemon, so you can actually see hollows. So the full art cards, because it's full hollows.
Yeah,
it literally just it just goes crazy on the scanner because it's just the colors. It just reflects everywhere. So you can literally, and you can see the shape in there too. So if there's a Zard and it's got a particular shape in the box, you can just go across all the boxes and say, yeah, this one's the one I want.
That's
so
nuts.
James says, get your brain checked and your flawless box too. The other crazy thing that people are saying is maybe the boxes that all these breakers got weren't actually loaded. Maybe they had a system like this in place already. So some of those bigger breakers had employees going out and doing this type of stuff. Or when they got their allocation coming in, they were scanning the boxes that they break and like to sell and then to break on their streams. But I was a bit iffy on that because there was just too many concurrent massive hits on massive chase cards for certain break companies successively within X amount of weeks which was just ridiculous. Like within a month, a certain break company hit 3 of the top cards, chase cards that were actually in the hobby at that time, consecutively. It was just weird. So I'm ruling that out, but it could lead to what breakers open and rip. You know what I mean? They open the good stuff for themselves, get the massive hits, then they're able to put it for sale, razz them off, do whatever they got to do, and then they let all these people buy into their breaks, and they get absolute jack shit, and they make money, and they might put one box in there that's got a hit in there. Whet the appetite for people to come back.
Yeah.
So I don't know your thoughts on it, Sauce. It's very interesting. It just goes from one extreme to the other.
Well, at the end of the day, if this is this, yeah, I don't know how deep does this run? If this is the case, and how deep does this run? Because it would be so devious for a place where they get big allocations, and they do this sort of stuff, and then they end up selling the other boxes as single boxes or whatever. It's interesting, Doma. I guess that reinforces the point why you sort of, if you can afford or get, not afford, but it reinforces the case of why, no pun intended, why you should open cases, right? You're guaranteed a certain amount of hits, that sort of thing, and it's probably your best value for money. But the reality is these days you can't even afford to buy a case, I was having the discussion with someone the other day, Revolutions boxes, hobby boxes used to be $60, $50. And you buy a case of that, and, you're only up for there was 10 boxes in the case or something like that. You're only up for, not that much. You're up for $500, $600 for the case. Now, for $300, $200 gets you one box, $250 gets you one box. So, the case price is like 4x, 5x, and the value is just not there when, all Revolution is now sticker autos. It's not on-card autos, and, the price of the box is 5-6 times what it was, and it's not even on-card autos now, right? So it's just nuts. And the fact that people are going and using CT scanners to find hits in boxes is just, nothing surprises me anymore in this hobby, Dom. You know what I mean? Like, we Nat Turner himself, when the whole, schmozzle with Kurt's card can, he's getting called out on Twitter and this and that, they looked into it and it all got fucking ticked off. It wasn't until that Lemon went into the PSA office and embarrassed them in their own office, saying thank you to Kurt's card care. I couldn't have done it without you. Without your wax and Kurt's cum, your special cum, I wouldn't have been able to get this PSA 10 on this Wemby 101 that PSA charged me $7,500 to grade. And I'm going to sell to some other Lemon for $250,000. All right? I couldn't have done it without you. It wasn't until that point that PSA cared. They didn't like being embarrassed in their office like that. So, yeah, it just goes to show you.
I just put an article in the chat, which is a really good in-depth look at the CT scanner, and Aaron Wayne, who bought the CT scanners and did a trial and error on all the cards and all this stuff. So, Cage, I ran out of Jurgens last week. No worries, I grabbed the Kurtz. It was fair income. I don't get that reference because I don't know what Jurgens is, unfortunately. Sorry. Is that like polish, wax? I don't know.
Nah, mate, you can also just cook some bacon and the leftover grease. Just, solidify it up, chuck it in a little container, throw it in the fridge. It solidifies, and get that grease and just,
lotion. It's lotion. Well, the interesting thing, the positive thing that came out of the CT scanner, but let's be honest, it's not going to be used for this positive thing, is it can actually tell counterfeit cards like Pokemon cards. But this is how the shape comes out, Source, with the CT scanner. So if you know what, that's a holo. That's a Ninetales holo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is worth a bit of money if it's a first edition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is the Hypno. So look at how it looks. So just imagine you buy the new product where it's got a Zard, and every Zard is freaking worth $1 gazillion when the product is dropped. You can go out there with your scanner, scan your boxes, find your Zard, buy the box, instant cash. Thanks for coming. That was used on a pack to find the Hypno. Anyway, I've put that article in the.
Well, if you bought cases and did it on Pokemon boxes and bought cases, then you could work out where all the full art in the case, all the full art boxes are, or you could work out like in the One Piece boxes where all the the full art sort of cards.
Dragon Ball Z as well. Dragon Ball Z as well.
Because they would be all shiny and
Yeah.
maxed out, and you could work out all right. There's 12 boxes in a case. These 4 boxes have the hits. The other 6 don't. You open up those, bang, you hit like all these full art cards or whatever, and then you sell all the other boxes single. It's
Man, what are you talking about? You do the good old fashioned 4 of the 10 boxes have got hits in them. So you open 3 of them, Source. Like you open 3 of them. You make sure the case hit is in the one that you keep. Sorry to anyone that's listening to this scam that's been devised by Double Coverage here live, but 10 boxes, we'll say, in a case. Actually, we'll go 12 box case. It's a bit easier that way. Of the 6, you say 4 of the 6 or 3 of the 6 have got the best cards. You keep the 2 that have got the case hit and something else. You put 1 good box in 6 boxes. You just break the other 4. You try and get your money back. And then you know what you do as a breaker? Half case, baby. We're doing a half case break. Oh, we didn't get the case hit. Oh, it must have been in the other half that we didn't open. Oh, how unfortunate. It was in the 6 boxes that I took that I scanned with my CT scanner, and I got the case hit. And I hit the logo, man, that you can see on my website right now for $100,000. Where did you hit that?
Yeah, Dave says CTC. I would never buy Flawless now. You can literally see the logo, man, at any case that doesn't have one, sell it. I assume now that any Flawless in the wild has already been scanned. Oh, crazy, we hope not. I mean, we hope not. We hope not. Hang on.
Oh, it's got to be. These guys get they have to just be getting at the distribution companies as well, Source, at the moment, and just scanning them and just sending cases that are shit. They have to. Like, that's what's happening. Surely that's what's happening. Imagine if Logan Paul had the knowledge of the CT scanner for the G.I. Joes. Maybe that was staged deliberately.
Greatest plan of all time to create so much hype.
You know what the CT scanner would be good for, Source? All those graded Pokemon packs that have got G.I. Joe cards in them that have been resealed.
Yes.
And they scan it and they go, what the hell? What the hell? Is that Playboy? Is that Pamela Anderson? Why can I see boobs? Like, what the hell?
First edition Pokemon pack, and there's Playboy cards behind it.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm telling you, that's actually a thing in the hobby. I'm telling you, if I grabbed 100 graded pack, Source, I'm telling you, I'll open. I'm not saying half of them, but there'll be some of those graded packs in there that have resealed and got jack shit in there, i.e., like a G.I. Joe card type spec, or there's actually fake Pokemon cards in there. They've ripped the pack and they've just opened it up meticulously and resealed it beautifully, mate. So they've got the crimps on there. Mate, there's so many talented people in this hobby that can scam so easily. So the best hobby in the world, these fat bastards won't get a scan for their heart blockages, but they scan their cards.
Yeah, but it's nothing surprises me anymore, Doma. You know, we've seen it all. It's just it just reinforces the conversation I had with someone on the weekend at the Melbourne Card Fair when I talked about, like, gone are the days of like you're going to be able to rip a case of something decent for a decent price, right? And then you hear about shit like this, and you go, well, I can't even justify spending $3,000 on a even a noir set of noir or something like that, or a what's the other one? Encased, or they do something like that, or impeccable. I can't even justify it just because you never know what's happened. Like, are people scanning these and seeing, which cards, can you see through, boxes like that, and you can see maybe which cards have they got the sneaker cards or whatever it might be, right? In there or something like that. You can see which boxes have the sneaker insert or in some of those. So, yes, it's just nuts. And look, as good as it's been to obviously see the hobby grow in the last 3 to 5 years and phenomenal growth and be a lot more people in this space, it's great. It's also, brought in 10 folds, 20 folds the money, and I would say 10 folds the dubious activity that people get up to. Like, I'm sure there's a lot more. It's just
Cage says, when he was a kid, I used to see adults at Walmart with scales weighing packs in the store. Guys would stand there and search packs for die cuts. Been this way for decades. Folks just added technology now. Fuck, it's so sad. So sad.
It's like, and like any advantage people will use. I think just a couple years ago there was like the optic packs, fat packs, and you could see the last card, and the last card, they had like there's some variant in there. It was like the last 3 cards, and you could see the final card. So you could go through and look on all the back of the packs, and if you've seen it was a good player, you'd get that, you'd buy that pack because that was like it was like a blue velocity variant or something like that you could see like the the last card in the pack, in the fat pack. So yeah, like there's always little advantages that people will see and notice, and they'll try take them. And look, the good thing is there's plenty of other ways to enjoy the hobby, but it just really does reinforce the point of is it worth even ripping product anymore, right? It's more to the reason why I have stuck to ripping AFL or even ripping some TCG stuff and not spending the money on expensive overpriced basketball products and stuff of that nature, just because the value for money isn't there. And then you hear stuff like this that people are finding ways to search the boxes and sell off the other boxes, and just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what whether it's worth it. Is it even worth it to do it? Rip boxes anymore.
100%. And speaking about scams and stealing and all that type of stuff, there could be a very, very high chance of that happening. At the moment, the National is happening. This weekend,
Cleveland,
Ohio. Tyson Beck, our good friend, is going to be there. So if anyone is there, catch up with them. Lane's over there as well.
If you listen to this, tell them double coverage sent you. If you see Tyson.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So just be wary. You're going to be inundated with so much content. You might even get some people in the space that haven't made content in 3 years come back. So for a one time only. Scammers follow the money. It sucks. How do you tell the Joey or honest bloke to join the hobby? You got to make sure you tell them to be careful. Scams at every turn. 100%. The parking lot looks like the biggest scam at the Natty so far. They couldn't escape.
Go on.
Need a roaming saucy at the National.
Yeah, look, and this is the thing that I had this discussion with someone that's been to a national. He's obviously from here, from Melbourne. He sets up the Melbourne Car Fair, and he's been to a national in Chicago, and I think he's been to one in Cleveland. And he said just the location in Chicago is just so much better, so much more accessible to things. And if you are going to make the trip and make the effort all the way over there from Australia, he would suggest to going to the one in Chicago. Is he right in saying that, Cage? If you're still in the comments, is he
Cage
right in
says-
saying that?
Cade said, "Who's coming back after 3 years? Have you seen Juan?"
Yes, we spoke to him last week, Juan, and he's going well. He's in the Philippines. He's got about 4 wives, a personal chef. He's doing very well for himself.
And he's got that BBC rapper still. He's got a couple of Ken Golden's auction lots from the card porn auction that was up on the Golden website. He's doing a lot of great things. One with his brother Jesse. Chicago is the best. The hotels are all attached to the building. They are impromptu trade nights in the lobbies every night. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's in the. I think I was told it's in Chicago for the next 3 years after this one in a row. So potentially, that's maybe in the next 3 years I could be making it to a national.
Don't need to.
Hopefully.
Oh, that'd be good. Don't need to rent a car. All the events are walkable, even the after hours events.
Here we go. Cigar night.
Next 3 years confirmed, says Cage.
Yeah, there we go.
Very nice. So that's the national. And then the last thing, obviously, we've got to end on a good note. This is the way we do it here now in double coverage. We've got to end on a good note. We had the Melbourne card fair. Saucy did mention before. Zach Merritt was there. It was great to see him there. But it was also great to see everyone getting together once again. I hadn't been to one for a few. I think the last 3 I haven't been, or last 2 I haven't been. So it was good to rock up again. A lot of people saw us. It was very busy. A lot of people I haven't seen in a while, so it was great to catch up with them as well. So your thoughts on the show? Shane does a great job with it. So
yeah, look, can't speak highly enough of the show. Shane does well, and I always have a chat to him when we're there, and just speak to him about certain things. And and he tries his best to improve and do things a bit differently. And there's obviously always nuances when you're setting up these things that you need to take into account. Dealing with returning dealers and regular dealers that are coming through, and then also having a breed of new dealers that come through as well, and a bit of a rotation on that side, just because people who come to the show regularly also want to see a rotation of dealers. And then there's the issue where people keep telling him to get a bigger space because he's telling me he can't fit as many people, but the reality is it's maybe not the best to get the bigger space, just because if you've looked into event spacing and how much things cost, it's pretty crazy, some of the prices that you get quoted, especially when you're using the room on a Sunday morning for like 5 hours, and that's about it. You're there for maybe 6 hours, and that's it. But look, he does really, really great job, and it's just good that we have regular shows. He runs it every 6 to 8 weeks. It's on, so he'll run about 4 or 5 of them a year, and then we're lucky enough to get 2 hobby hangouts a year, and then there's the occasional show that pops up of that pop up here and there of other people sort of giving a crack at running a show, and we're always open to supporting people. There was supposed to be another one that was run by another page I seen on Instagram, but it's been postponed for a little bit, so I'll do a bit more research on that. And then we'll obviously give them a plug. But the Melbourne Car Fair was great as always. It was jam-packed early. I got there sort of 40 minutes after most people went in, because you got the early bird. You can pay $20 and go in at the early bird, or you can pay $6 and go in at 10 o'clock. You go in at 10 o'clock because the extra $14 is really not necessary, if you ask me. But yeah, some people want to do it and pay the extra. So, good on Shane for having that option. It is, definitely good for some people that might only be able to go for it at a certain time. But yeah, it was a great show. It was a great show. It was good to chat to people. Wasn't too much buying on my end. I only got one pickup, so I can show that one off in a sec. But yeah, it was good. You were down there as well. You were there a little bit earlier than me, so you seen probably.
I walked in, Sauce. I'm telling you, I walked in. It was chockers, and you know where I got to go first. You got to go to the double coverage table first.
Yep, straight to double coverage table.
Yeah, it's run by the Oracle at all these events, and the Oracle was on fire. He didn't bring enough cards, he reckons. He was selling them like hotcakes.
There you
shit
go.
you not, ladies and gentlemen.
That's on the dealer. Yeah, that's the dealer side, ladies
Just
and gentlemen.
crazy because I can't believe how many cards I'm selling. Shaqs and Jason Tatum's and Curry's. He was just selling everything. He's like, what the hell's going on? Well, Tatum's hot at the moment because he just won the chip. So if you can offload those, mate, get rid of them. That's what you got to do. Apart from that, it was really good to see the guys from Card Fever, Matt's Card Shop. No, I'm going to miss heaps of people.
You're going to miss heaps of people. You start naming people. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. But I have to give props to one person, though, Sauce. He's in this chat. And that is the great Jonathan Magda. All right, because he mentioned he listens to the show every week. He tunes in every week. And he heard me say on last week's episode, I was going to go to the show and try and collect the rest of the base cards for my team coach, for my son, for the folder. And I was missing, I think, about 24 cards or something. Magda gets in contact with me the night before the show, and he goes, oh, I'm going to be there. I want to catch up with you, have a chat. And I said, yeah. He goes, oh, can you send me the cards that you need? So I sent him a screenshot of my notes. I had the cards in there. Anyway, the legend brings me all the base cards that I needed for my set. So it goes out of his way, gets them all sorted. So I just want to say a big thank you to Magda. I really do appreciate it. And obviously, it means a lot because you do listen to this show heaps. But this is what it always means about helping each other out in the hobby. You know, if you need base cards, you need this and that. And someone, you're looking for a card, we might know someone that has the card that you're looking for. That's what it's all about, helping each other out. So, Magda, thank you so much. My card pickup, though, like I said, I've been trying to start the collection for my son. And there's always these guys at the Melbourne Card Fair. They've always got AFL cards, not officially licensed, Source, but they go to training sessions and they get them signed by the players. Yeah, so you know who I'm looking for. I see this guy there. Shano's really good. He's got Vets, which Saucy will show you in a second. There's this other guy there that I've never seen before at any of these shows. All right. And he had some current day AFL players. And I thought to myself, I wonder if they've got the Star Powers Tyson Bet card from the new team coach in this guy's folder. I said, oh, where's your North cards? Anyway, it turns out, you know who I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to this. I only get one North Melbourne player. And here it is, my son's first auto, LD Sue, on the Tyson Beck Star Powers from the team coach. LDU, Luke Davies-Uniacke.
Yep.
How good is this? So there you go.
The Tyson Beck Star Powers. It's not very nice. Nice card.
The Star Power is unbelievable. Tyson did such a good job with him this year.
Good design, great
not
design.
Not to say he hasn't done a great job in the past, but honestly, this is my favorite design to date. It looks so good. So there's my pickup, Saucy. And it was just great to catch up with everyone. So great show. So
very nice.
There you go. It's not all scammers. Nice hobby story and nice job, Magda. Says Cage.
And this Shano, who's the organizer of the show, if you haven't been to his setup, he's got all on-card AFL autos that he let's just say this, he's got an extensive contact list of AFL players. And then obviously, because he's been doing it for years and years and years and years and years. When I mean years, this guy's, would be, how old do you reckon Shane is? 55 plus?
55.
60? 55, maybe around there. So he's been doing this for well over 20 years and or more. And his contact list keeps growing. And I picked up this auto, which he got signed by the great Jason Dunstall, Chief, one of 4 or 5 players to kick over 1,000 goals in the history of the game in their career. I think only been done by 5 players in the history of the game. Most recently, Lance Buddy Franklin. We've seen obviously the big field, the storming of the field when it happened.
That's a banger card.
That's a banger. It's an on-card auto. Obviously, of him kicking the goal back when he had a bit more hair than you see him on the broadcast these days.
Is that 90? What is that? 2002 select?
Select
3.
Australia 2003.
Man, I got that set. That was that was my first proper. That's like the premium select set. They were like the $9 or $10 a packet. Back in the day, source that set. So that's the set that remember my Matthew Pavlich rookie that I sold?
Yeah.
That was from that set. So I've actually got some of the, I don't know where they are. I've got to find them, but I've got a whole bunch of those select cards from back in the day. The design of them, they were actually really good. Those legend cards like Dunstall, they did a really, really good job with that set. It was actually mint.
Really good set, Shane
it's a nice
does
card
a great
too.
With those autos. And if you ever have any questions of whether they're real or not, I mean, he has photos of them signing the cards, all of them, right? And he can show you. And he even posts some of the photos from time to time. I think if you follow the Melbourne Card Fair on Facebook, he recently just posted a photo of Shane Crawford. So obviously he's getting a bunch of Shane Crawford cards signed, and you pick up this card. It's $20. You need to think about it. $20. Obviously Shane must be giving a hookup to Dunstall per auto. So obviously him selling at $20, he's still able to make some money. But when you actually look and stop and look at the actual quality of the auto, sometimes when you're just trying to get them signed at a training or get them signed at, hanging over the fence, they're just like quick to do it. But, you can see there he's taking the time. Each card is getting paid for each auto, or getting paid for an hour of his time to sign X amount of cards, whatever it might be. So it's good. He really takes his time. And I've seen it with a few other ones in there. Some of them weren't done as well. Or I'd seen like, an order that I had got back when I was a kid, right? And I've got the order of like Matthew Lloyd, and I just got that done when I was a kid after a training session. I happened to catch Matthew Lloyd at Windy Hill, boom, running after training out the back entrance. I used to know they'd come out this entrance so that not many people would see him, right? And I used to wait there, boom, and I used to get them. And I just seen that old auto that I got of Matthew Lloyd, and the one which Shano has there, and he had a whole bunch of them. Obviously, he paid Matthew Lloyd some money to do the signing, and it's completely different. And there's so much time and effort taken more into the ones that Shane gets done. So there's that to it as well. Yes, you're paying the money, and it's not that expensive. But he takes some of them.
What did the Dunstall set you back?
Really, really well. $20.
$20. My Davies Uniac, $10. Matty said it at the top here. He goes crazy how cheap they sell them. Yeah, 100%. Global City's got the full set of 2001 draft pick SIGs. Dunstall's a great guy, man of the people. Shane should try and get him down to the card fair to have a dribble kickoff.
Need more space, mate. Need a bigger venue if you're going to do something like that.
It was honestly a great show. Great to catch up with people, and really, really good. That's it from me, Source. Matt said I got a Pendles Mason Cox Grundy from Shane for $20 a while back from my cousin. How good's that?
He's got some crackers, man. I've got a whole folder called AFL vintage, and any AFL vintage cards that I get, or older cards and older autos of players. I chuck it in that folder, and it's just a collection. I mean, it's pretty much one of those things that if I don't really find anything else that I want to buy, and I go to the other tables, I know I can always go to Shane's table and buy something.
Pick up something.
There's always something there that I'll buy.
I think I picked up a Corey McKernan auto at one of the other shows. Always look. Well, they had Carey there, but I just didn't like the designs of the car. I'm very picky. You know what I'm like. I'm a pain in the ass. So. Anyway, another cracker show, an hour and a half. Well, we didn't think we were going to go an hour and a half because there wasn't much sport, but, we always ramble and have a good time with all of you in the comments as well. Matty said he got a buddy auto for $10. That's a banger.
I know. I think I need to look through his boxes a bit
You need to
harder.
get a buddy. You need
I
a
need
buddy.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I need one.
Cage says, keep up the great work. So many people have come and gone. Keep grinding. Keep making people laugh. So many lemons in this hobby. You guys are right up there with the blooming onion in my eyes. Thank you very much, Cage.
Making your eyes water. That's what he meant.
Well, yeah, probably. Well, there could be some interesting stuff on the cards potentially for me in less than 9 weeks. So potentially I could be meeting Cage in person
Oh,
in New York City, potentially.
New York.
It's come out of nowhere, but I'll see.
If
I
you're
haven't
in New
confirmed
York, you have to tell Cage that you're going to be in New York.
I've told Cage. Cage is aware. He's aware.
All right.
He's aware. No, he's aware. He's aware. I've already spoken to him. But yeah, I could be there. I don't know.
And you have to go to the Bagel Master, man. You know the Bagel Master?
Yeah, Vadim.
Vadim.
If Cage, I don't know if Cage is still in here, but is Vadim close by? Bloody oath, I'll go see Vadim.
He's not close. He's on the other side of the city from Cage. I know that. I think I've gathered that in the conversations.
But I think I mentioned to Cage we might go to Bleecker.
There we go. That'll
together,
be fun.
so that'll be good if we can catch up. But that's not confirmed. I'm not saying 100%. I'm going to be meeting with the person that's doing some booking stuff on the weekend, whether I go or not. So I don't know.
Not confirmed. Come on.
Not confirmed. Not confirmed.
We'll find out next week. The suspense is building.
Let's take AFL to America. Well, you know what? I'd be the LeBron James of AFL in America. I'd be so much better than all of them. It'd be ridiculous. But can we got to play it at least one more time. We got to play it.
Let's end the show on this.
You know what I'm going to do, Sauce? All right. For all of you out there, I'm actually going to screen record this. I'm going to download this clip. I'm actually going to clip my favorite part of the video, and I'm saving it in there. So when the NBA season comes along, I think my audio died, though. It said you can't hear my audio anymore. We'll test it. We'll see what happens. You tell me if you can hear the audio source. It says share audio. This one here. I'm clipping this part. I'm going to stop it. Can you hear? Can you hear?
No sound.
Oh, damn it. Oh, well, that was an epic foul. Epic foul to the show.
You have to go back
anyway,
to the start.
I'll clip it when LeBron gets it and he hits the shot and he goes, Captain L'America. That's what he calls him, Captain L'America. And then he goes, the Old FN Testament. When he says that is the best, all right? I'm clipping that. That is going in the video files. So when LeBron's dominating at 40 years of age next season, I'm going to be
carrying these bums at 40.
Carrying these bums. The effing Old Testament. That's what I want. I'm just going to play it flat stick. That's the greatest thing ever. That is Rage with Paige. All right? Not Rage with Cage. That's a different Cage. He's in the hobby. This is Rage with Paige. Paige, Cage, and, it's all that stuff. It's a bit like Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze. So, anyway, on that note, I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. LeBron is goated at 40, and he's the Old Testament. And peace.
Peace. Catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.